So hopefully you all know Damian Lillard, and I hope you do. You probably should. And he's arguably the best point guard in the entire NBA, and definitely top 2 in the NBA. Supposed to be one of the best regular season players of all time, and that's maybe true. And there's this myth going around that Damian Lillard is a goated playoff player, and Damian Lillard is my favorite player in the NBA. I love Damian Lillard. I will vouch for Damian Lillard. I will always watch Damian Lillard have his jersey. I've high-fived him before. I've met him. I love this man so much. I'm a Blazers fan. I'm a hard Blazers fan. That's my team. This is my guy. But I'm not going to sit here and act like he is the Michael Jordan of this era, or he is the best playoff player in this era, because he's really not. Today I'm going to be looking at that myth and seeing if it's true. Now, here's his regular season stats. 19 points, 20 points, 21. Let's go with Marcus Aldridge. He becomes a guy, 25, 27, 26, 25, 30 last year. Comes back this year, 28 points a game. In the MVP talks for a while. He's averaging assists as well. 7, 8, 6, 6, 5. Efficiency, 3-point percentage is very, very good. Shooting 37% in his career, which is good. Curry's 40%, so he's not that far behind there. Field goal percentage, 43%, which is solid for his point guard, not great. He plays a ton of games, usually all 82 if he can, or 75, 73. He's been in this league for now. This is 19th in the league, and he's balling in the regular season. But the success as a team isn't there like it should be, and that's what I'm going to be going over today. And also, the playoff success is what we're going to go and look at right about now. So, there's the regular season stats, of course, but is he really that playoff guy that we know and love? Because I've watched almost all of our playoff series. I think I've watched all but one of our playoff series, maybe. And yes, I was younger when the first ones happened. I was very young, but I still can tell you what happened or why Dame isn't the best playoff player. And shout out to Jason Tatum for this video idea, because Jason Tatum just went and did a video on this, and I agree with him. I agree with what he's saying, and I'm going to go prove him right and the truth right now. That's what I'm going to do. And here we go. I've got to load this page right now. And we're going over here. I'm going to show why Damian Lillard is not the greatest playoff player, or the best playoff player, or even a great playoff player right now. Touching the regular season stats. And yes, he's averaging 24 in his career, 30 last year, 28 right now. MVP talks, not really anymore, because the last couple of games have been struggling against good teams. He's a 5-time NBA All-Star, 6-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, Rookie of the Year, All-Rookie. He's been in MVP talks multiple times in his career. He's been an absolute beast. 7 assists a game. Efficiency, 92 in the free throw line, 89 in his career. He is a freaking bucket. He's the definition of a bucket. Dame is that guy in the regular season. But he's had some help in his team. He's had a terrible coach in his career. And let's go check out why he's not the GOAT playoff player. Here's his playoff stats right here. We're going to get to them series by series. Starting off with the Houston series. The Houston series, he was balling. He was a beast in the Houston Rockets series. 31 in the first game, gets the dub. Come back, 18, still gets the dub. That was a little Marcus game. 30 with a loss. 26, 23, 25, hits the game winner, comes off the screen with the curl and balls out there. Gets us a huge shot. That was a goated series. That was a beastly series. That was insane. One of the fair series to watch. Hit the buzzer beater, of course. That's what everyone remembers the series for. But he was good all through the series. He was efficient. He shot the ball well. 3% was pretty high, 70% one game, 50%, 42%. He had a couple of struggles of games from efficiency-wise, but he had some assists. He had some solid numbers, and there's the Houston series. So, we won the first two. We lost, and we won, then we lost, and we won. And then we go into the second round against San Antonio, and, oh boy, Stotts' drop scheme gets worked by Tony Parker. Parker cooks us, but Dame wasn't good. Let's be real. 17, 19 inefficiencies, a lot of turnovers, 21 turnovers, 25, 17, inefficient the whole series. Couldn't hit through for his life. 2 0% games, a 16% game, a 25% game. He got locked down hard. I think Kawhi might have even guarded in this series. Maybe it was Tony Parker on him. I don't even know. But he got locked down hard, and Tony Parker cooked us. Duncan, of course, is still there. And that was an awful series. That series sucked. We got worked. Awful series. Terrible play there from those guys. Because LaMarcus had a pretty solid series against San Antonio. I mean, we're supposed to play well and try to come out and get to the conference finals. But instead, we lay an egg, and we don't win. We only win one game. The fourth game is what happens a lot to the Blazers. 2 straight years of winning the fourth game. And boy, Dame disappointed. We needed that second star. He wasn't there for us. CJ was still on the bench at this time. It wasn't good, so it's not like we had CJ in the back pocket. We had LaMarcus and Dame. Those were our guys. Then you look at Memphis. Game 1, lost. Dame, 14 points. Sucked. Next game, 18. Another tough L. Dame did not play well. 32% from the field. 23% of the field in the first game. And just 2 poor games in both of these. Next game, he drops 22. We get another L. Then we go to the Game 4. We get that Game 4 win. Games off 32. He's only good in Game 4. Come on, Dame. We need more than that out of you. We win that game by 7 against a good Memphis team. This is the end of the grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies era. But this Memphis team wasn't good. Let's be real. I mean, they were not as good as... They weren't nearly as... I mean, yes, we had... What was our lineup? No, this was our last year with LaMarcus. But this Memphis team wasn't great. Let's be real. Dame did not do well that series. We move down to the LA Clippers series. Was a win. And the thing is, our starting lineup sucked. It was Aminu, Harkless, Miles, Mason Plumlee, Dame, and CJ. So this was the end of the LaMarcus, Robin Lopez, Batum days into the Dame, Mo Harkless, Aminu, CJ, Mason Plumlee days. And we won the series. But that's just because Blake and CP3 get hurt. But the thing is, we still could have won the series. We were up 2. We would have tied it at 2-2. The game went down. We tied it at 2-2. They won the first 2. Dame sucked. The next 2 games we come out. Dame plays well. Dame sucks. CJ had a pretty solid game that one. Plumlee went off that game as well. Only 12 points there. Inefficiencies. Then we come out. We win the next 2. He drops 22 and 28. So this is not a terrible series for Dame. It's just like an alright series because we won this game probably because of injuries. The series because of injuries. We could have won it maybe if they didn't get injured, but Dame needed to play a little bit better. But he still played good enough to get us a couple wins against DeAndre Jordan and the rest of this team. But I'm not saying this series is a total W. It's a medium W. This is an average series for Dame. I'm not saying this is anything special here because this is against the Clippers. And, I mean, yeah, we won the series, so we'll take it. Then we go down to Golden State. Oh, boy, this was a devastating one. Dame, trust me, when I say Dame did everything he did, Dame did everything he could. You can't really hate the guy for this. This is Terry freaking Stotts, coaching staff, supporting cast, rest of the roster. Dame dropped 34. Then he dropped 12. Then he dropped 30. Wait, hold on. I went too far. Whoops, I gotta... 30, 25, 40, 36, 28. He balled out. This is a efficient series. He just struggled a lot from the field. Or not from the field, on defense side of the ball. He couldn't stop Curry. I'm not going to get too mad at that series. That's not a bad series. Then we go on, and we get swept by Golden State. This series sucked. Dame had two three-ish good games. One terrible game. But, yeah, Golden State cooked this twice in a row, 2 straight years. This series was sad. It was a tough series to watch because it was a first-round exit. And, I mean, Golden State was a better team, but this team still should have at least took a game or 2 from them, and Dame could have definitely stepped up. He had 2 34-point games and a 31-point game. But the series before, man, he just absolutely balled out ridiculous, so you can't blame that one on him. But then we get to this freaking New Orleans series. This is the most devastating series of all time. Dame sucked 18, 17, 20, 19. Inefficient. 44, 14, 33, 20 from 3. 26, 38, 35, 43 from the field. Assists were okay. He doesn't... In a game series like this, it's not about the passing. Davis and Cousins swept us. And this was just so sad to watch because we were the way higher seed. We were favored by so much. They come into our house and they beat us every single game and we suck. And that series was awful. Terry Stotts is a terrible coach because of that series. Should have got fired after that season, but Dame still played awful. And that's partly on Dame. That's a bad series. He comes out in OKC. He balls out. His best series of his career. 30 points, 29 points, 32 points, 24 points. Hit him with a game winner and a 50 bump. That was an inspirational series. But he doesn't know that his whole career. And that's the series that people remember. They're going to remember the bomb on the Rockets, or the shot on the Rockets and the bomb here, which is fine. I want that to be how people remember Dame. But if you really care, got to look into the numbers and take into account that Thunder was his best series, but he's not always played like that. We get to Denver. This was a CJ series. Now, Dame still put up great stats in a couple of the games. Started off great, 39 points, hit a lot of threes. Boom. Comes back with 14. He struggles. We get a win, though, in the 14-point game. The loss in his 39-point game. The next game was CJ. Come back with 28. 28 twice in a row. Those are 2 huge games for us. We split them there, 28-28. He comes back with 22 in this crazy... This was the 4 overtime game, I think, right? Was that 6 or 5? I can't even remember. And CJ comes out in Game 7 and balls out. Dame only has 13 in Game 7. That was an average series from Dame. He had a couple huge games, but a couple games where he didn't show up at all. That was partly a CJ series. The last 2 games of that series, I mean, Dame was there, but not really. Then we get to Golden State the next series. We move on, and this game we get swept. Dame had 19-23, 19-28. That was a hard series from Dame. He did not play well at all. Didn't play great basketball. Myers Leonard outplayed him in 2 of the games. Those games, Myers Leonard dropped 35. He's not a good guy at all, but that was still funny. I was at that game, and the crowd was going crazy because of Myers Leonard, but that's besides the point. Whatever. But yeah, Dame did not play well in that series. Curry took them. Then we get here to LA, and Dame struggles a lot. 11, 34, 28, 12. He doesn't play the last game because of injury. And Dame, not much to be said about that series except for the Lakers were the better team. We weren't made for that. We were a bad team in the regular season. We shouldn't have even been in that spot anyway, but that was a tough loss. So what I'm trying to say basically is that Damian Lillard isn't really the playoff player you think he is. Now, I love Dame. I love him to death. But Dame isn't the Michael Jordan of our era or anything like that. Because I saw a lot of people saying that. And shout out to JT, he agrees with me. He thinks that he's just an average to below average playoff player. I'd say he's an average to above average playoff player just because maybe there's a little bit of bias there. But this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm trying to say. And Damian Lillard, I'm just going to debunk the rumor because he's that guy, but not always in the playoffs. So, that's all I have to say for me today. As always, peace. By any means, Dame is not a bad player. It's not what I'm saying at all. He's still a top 10 player, and he's still not a bad playoff player. I mean, he's in the freaking NBA, and he's made Western Conference Finals. He's not a bad playoff player. He's just not what some people are trying to say that he was. And he's my favorite player in the league. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again so you guys don't think I'm hating on Dame because I love Dame. I'm going to be wearing a Damian Lillard jersey right now. But sometimes you got to just face the truth. And I'm an honest Blazers fan. And that's that.